I'm one of the executive board directors for the American Federation of Musicians in Austin. It's called AFM 433. Because if you don't speak up for yourself or speak up for others, then what's going to happen when there's nobody to help you? So I just kept speaking out, and I will continue to do so. Do contracts. If you don't do contracts, you're stabbing yourself in the foot. Ask for a contract. All they can do is say no. And then you can say, oh, well, okay. Decide whether or not to do the gig. But having the contract helps a lot.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of In the Chair. Today we are in the chair with Sonya Jevette. She's an Austin singer-songwriter. I've learned that she is a teacher now. She was gracious enough to have me on her show a few years ago for several episodes. And I am just delighted to have her now on In the Chair. So welcome to In the Chair with you, Sonya Jevette. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you, Wiley. I am groovy, happy, blessed.
And I do like to start with, this platform is a different audience. For those watching, Sonya and I are both located in the Austin, Texas metro area, and this is a different audience. So would you mind taking a moment to just kind of introduce yourself and talk about how you got here to today, musically speaking?
Because you're so gracious and asked me number one. I have been singing for more than 20 plus years and play several instruments and write my own music and produce and do television shows. I have done a television show. I've been teaching guitar lessons for since 2004. Yeah, we'll go for that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. One of the ways that Sonya and I first met was her promoting a song off of her album Other Side of the Pandemic. And I mean, every musician on the planet knows that the world kind of changed when we had to go inside and stop playing gigs. And I thought you basically writing an album out of that experience, not completely about it, but out of it, was very powerful. There was all sorts of social issues and movements and everything going on. So do you want to touch maybe for a minute about that album and that experience?
That was a deep album right there, because I had to relearn how to perform in not public. I probably performed more online than I ever have in my life, with more different styles of artists that I would never have been able to perform with or had been able to perform with. But the album itself, content was just coming out the wazoo. I could not write it down. I was like, oh, let me write that down quickly. That's good. Let me write this down. I'm gonna make a good song. I think my favorite song that came out of there is the Louisiana Lucy song, the one about my rescue dog, because I literally did not go outside for a good 14 months during the pandemic. I was, number one, scared of cooties. Number two, scared of getting shot to death. Number three, didn't want to be around other people with cooties. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm staying in my closet. But the last 6 months of the pandemic, I got a rescue dog. And this dog changed my life because I had to go outside. I had no choice. She had to go potty in the poop. So that's probably one of my favorite songs from that album. And everything else just was me learning how to produce and record my own content, because I made a video for, I think, every song on that album using Canva as a tool. So I learned a lot from the pandemic for this album. So, or that album. And plus the front cover always makes me laugh, because I'm like, yep, this is what I look like for like 14 months. I mean, there almost 2 years going outside and you had a mask on. This is exactly what I look like. So that's what I use for the cover.
No, that was it was not a good time but it was a long time.
Long.
uh,
Yes.
no, I was really taken with that album, and the I guess partnership that you had for a particular video was with Adrian Connor,
Mm.
the crazy guitarist from Hell's Bells, the AC/DC tribute act. And I thought that song was, very powerful. Just go to sonyajevette.com and check out the album, check out the singles that came out. She did a lot of good stuff when we were all holed up in our houses.
You want to hear the story about that, about Adrian?
Yeah, yeah.
I saw Adrian perform in Dallas, Texas at a little hole in the wall bar. And when she started playing, and I scooched my way up to the front and sat in the front on the floor and went, oh, that is one of the most phenomenal guitar players I've ever seen in my life. She is phenomenal and not well known enough. But we get to go see her. Go see her. I hope you interview her next. She's amazing.
Yeah, I did.
And
I had not gotten to meet the rest of Hell's Bells, so I've had Hell's Bells on as a guest.
ah,
But as a solo artist, yeah, I mean, Adrian, she leaves the stage, she walks on the bar, she gets on the floor.
she spins around, and you're like, how do you do that? During the pandemic, we somehow connected back up, and we were doing live jam sessions on some software. I don't remember what it's called, but we could record, we could play together live without latency during the pandemic. And I don't remember what it was, but it was amazing that we were able to do so. So she was one spot of the world, her bass player was another spot of the world, and I was here in Austin. We were like, okay, let's go. And yeah, that's how that came about.
No,
The song.
so many musicians figure it out.
How
Yeah,
to
latency.
play.
I mean, just having a Zoom or whatever was awesome, but figuring out how to deal with latency was a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was giving drum lessons for a while to kids all over the country. And when they were beginning, it was easy because it's, play a 16th note. Now you do it. But when they got better, I ended up not solving that problem. So it's like, all right, well, now you have enough to practice on your own. Bye-bye.
I don't know if they've fixed that yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, I learned a lot during the pandemic.
You, in addition, I mean, you hosted a show, a podcast, and it was on Austin area television, the city of Austin's channel.
Austin Public Television, yes.
But you got very involved with like the city government, right? Like the Austin Music
Oh,
Commission.
yes, got surprisingly, I've done so much. I was in a group called something. I'll remember it in a minute.
Mhm.
And we were part of this initiative to get musicians in the Austin area compensated for performing, and went and spoke to city council a lot to go, hey, you should compensate us. It would be nice because we make you happy. um, Austin, Texas musicians. I think that's what it was. But yes, did a lot. Still do a lot. Because if you don't speak up for yourself or speak up for others, then what's going to happen when there's nobody to help you? So I just kept speaking out, and I will continue to do so.
Yeah, it's always been a blessing and a curse. I mean, Austin calls itself the live music
Music.
capital of the world, and there are so many wonderful venues, and there are so many artists. A lot of that is good, but as the city has grown like crazy over the past few decades, parking is expensive, rent is like everything is working against up and coming artists, or even established artists, really. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, something that was brought up by I think the Austin Music Commission is just the idea of, can you give musicians parking passes to get free parking downtown?
Yes.
So you don't have to pay basically $20 to $50 cover to go play your own gig.
True.
That
Uh,
that hasn't happened, but I love that initiative.
the thought that I was trying to help push forward with that was there's a program downtown that's already set up, the ambassador program, and they would come and help artists bring their gear to the program, to the venue, and then later on help them carry it out. They were willing and ready to do stuff, but it never got pushed all the way through. But I was like, they're already there. Let them help us. That would be lovely.
Wow.
Whatever. We just you just keep, if you don't ask, you don't know. So I just keep asking.
Yeah, I think you, more than most musicians I've ever met, asked questions and then showed up to meetings and said, "Hey, what about this? Can we help in any other way?" And I think that's really important. And I hope, any artist in your own city, advocate for yourself and your peers, because nobody's going to do it voluntarily.
Truth. And so much so that now currently I'm one of the executive board directors for the American Federation of Musicians in Austin. It's called AFM 433. And we're all about uplifting musicians, getting them fair compensation, getting them compensation for cartage. Lots of musicians don't even know what cartage is. I'm like, that gear you schlepped to the show, you should be paid for that. That's a valid reason to say, I would like more compensation, please. Do contracts. If you don't do contracts, you're stabbing yourself in the foot. Ask for a contract. All they can do is say no. And then you can say, oh, well, okay. Decide whether or not to do the gig. But having the contract helps a lot. And that's part of what AFM does, American Federation of Musicians. It helps artists get taken care of, compensation, insurance for their gear, networking with other musicians in your field, in your genre. And it's worldwide. It's United States and international.
Wow. Is it as formal as a union, or is that
It is a union.
Okay. All right. I was like, in some contexts, that's a bad word.
Right. But yeah, American Federation's musicians, it's a union. So, and we're having a membership drive right now.
All right. Well, I didn't even know all the reasons I wanted you on this episode, and that's one of them. So, no, that's so powerful. I remember when I was in college, I was not in the University of Texas band, but a lot of my friends were, and they got to play Carnegie Hall once. And I just remember them saying, at Carnegie Hall, where all of the workers, lighting rigs and all that are all union.
Union, yes.
And they basically, the union members didn't. The band director, because of the contracts and how unions work, were basically like, do not touch your music stand. If it needs to be moved, you call someone over and they do it because they're paid to do that work.
Yes.
And when you cart something, you're actually taking work away from somebody who is paid. And
Yes.
not enough cities have that. And so this is a really cool opportunity. Thanks for sharing that.
Doing what I can do.
Let's go ahead and touch on you as an artist, about your new single, as you shared with me before we started recording. This episode will come out right around the date that your single drops on November 17th, 2025. Giddy Up. What's your new single about? What are you doing with this?
So I learned how to play the ukulele. What year are we in? 2024. And I was like, oh, cool. And immediately when I started playing it, a song came to me. And I was like, okay, sure, that's good. I like it. And I got the opportunity to perform at the PAC Center. What's a PAC Center called? Here in
Concert hall?
Austin. It's a large performance hall. Anyway, I don't remember
Yeah.
the And the sound in there was amazing. So I just propped up my little camera and recorded myself performing live. The song is about inspiring yourself to push through no matter what. Just when stuff gets to be poopy, just stay giddy up. Just keep going, and no matter what. And it's directed towards young people, but it can be directed towards anybody. But uh,
I
one of
think,
the lines is no mountain too high, no valley too low. Just keep going, keep going regardless of, as long as you're still alive, you have an opportunity. So just keep going.
yeah, I know. I was an academic advisor for the University of Texas School of Music for a few years, and in that role, and really just as a friend of musicians, the way that I think about it is, your music career is your job every single day. And no, you can't make yourself famous tomorrow or today, but you can absolutely take a step forward with what you're doing every single day. And maybe that's learn a new chord, or maybe that's put a post out on your socials or whatever. But I love the idea of giddy up. Like if you're not moving yourself forward every day, you're not moving forward.
True. And you can hear Lucy in the background. I apologize.
Oh yeah.
There's a squirrel coming by. Yes, if you don't make give yourself positive information or a push forward, then you'll just be stuck where you're at, and that's not fun.
Yeah. Um, you have Lucy. I have two small puppies around here too. They're sleepy right now though. This is their early evening nap time before they get the zoomies later.
Nice.
Uh, well, cool. Are you doing, so you said ukulele for Giddy Up. Is that going to be part of a full album? I know these days it's more common to just drop some singles and maybe eventually you put them on a compilation, but uh, are,
I plan to just keep playing the ukulele for my sets as a as I go. Like right now, I have two other ukulele songs that are formulating, and nothing really gets solid until I get to play it in front of a big audience. So, or just in front of an audience. But right now, I'm playing it for my students, and they're like, "Yeah, that's good. We like it." So that's the fun part of that part. Um, but I'm also learning how to play the saxophone. Oh, you can't see it, but it's back there.
uh,
The alto sax, because I can play right now 10 instruments, but I've never played the alto sax. So, or played the saxophone. So, because if you can play the recorder, you can play the clarinet, you can play the alto sax, you can play the sax. So that's what my thought process is. And then I got a set of harmonicas. So I'm trying to learn how to play that as well. I'm a creative person, and I have to be creative constantly or I get bored.
I do think that the times before this interview and when when you had me on your show previously, just Googling you, you're on every site and you're active on many of them. And you have a lot of music out there. I mean, a lot of videos. You have it's a testament when anybody comes and tells me like, "Wow, people aren't noticing me," and I just think, "Well, what have you done? What have you done to be noticed?" You're one of the examples of until you work as hard as Sonya Jevette, you're not.
Just play. Just don't worry about being famous because famous is different. Be successful. That's what I tell my students. It's like I'm not famous. I'm successful. Like I get compensated when I perform. And they're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "I get paid." And they're like, "Oh, okay." You don't. It's not about being famous. It's really not. It's about being successful. Do you get to play? Do you get to be creative? Do you get to breathe and live your dreams? And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I am not going to stop until the Lord takes me home.
I like what you said about contracts because I think even if you're playing happy hour at a pizza joint or a coffee shop or it doesn't really matter the size of the gig or the venue, or if you're a rock band playing the Tuesday 11 p.m. slot, the the power of the contract. Not that you're going to say I want $1,500 and they say yes, but put what your minimum is. Like, what is the minimum for your band to schlep all your stuff and go be on stage? And if that's $50 or $200 or whatever it is, it's so great to put that out there and say these are the minimums that we do. And then, like you said, but the booker might say, no, we can pay you half of that, and then we can give you free water and half price. So, just it gives you a place to start. And then, a no doesn't mean the gig isn't going to happen, but at least I think you kind of implied this, bookers see you differently. Like, oh, this is a professional.
Yes. That's the number one thing right there. It makes you look more professional. It makes them think, oh, this person knows a little bit something about what they're doing. So yes. And you can go make Google GPT chat your own contracts, or you can be part of the union and we have a plethora of contracts for whatever type of gig you want, including we're working on getting contracts for performing, because sometimes shows want you to have insurance to perform on their stage. So there's contracts we're in the process of creating so that you can have those, whether you're in the United States or traveling out of country. But whether you do the union or not, you should definitely work on having a contract with whoever is booking you, because stuff happens.
Yeah, that is awesome. And just to put it out there, afm.org is the website for the American Federation of Musicians, but it's not just for Americans.
Correct. It's worldwide.
No, it's such a good piece of advice. The first time I made a contract was when a booker said, well, send me your contract. And I thought, oh, my what? And it was scary to write, earlier in my career. Like, I'm just me, what do I ask for? But that's the fun part. And even if your demands are not great, it's such a safe and secure measure.
Some basic demands. Do you have power? Do you have electricity? Do you have a bathroom I can use? Do you have parking? Do I get water, food? Just some do you have a PA system? Do I got to bring my own? Basics for live solo artist or full band. I've been to shows where there's no lighting, there's no PA system. I was like, okay, wait, what do we do now? Because you didn't have contract. You didn't know to ask, but these are the things you should ask for.
In one of the bands I was in, this band up here, Chaska, the way that our guitarist put it one day was, he was like, think about pro sports. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys fly to Washington, D.C. and go play a football game and don't know that it's an AstroTurf field instead of grass? No, they know it. Why? Because they ask, because they research, or they don't know that they have to pay $300 to get running water in their locker room. They know that stuff. And it made me think about venues, because, sometimes you get to a venue, the house drum kit is the thing I faced. It's like, well, there's no snare drum. Well, you should have known that.
Yes. Or no seat. You're like, okay. Or carpet for the drummer. It's like, what?
No, that happened once in that band, and it never happened again with that band. It's like it's time to buy your drummer's carpet there, Wiley, and never have a slippery bass drum again.
Truth. These are things you learn as you go, but we're trying to help you. Trying to tell you there's some stuff.
No, that's great. Let me take a minute now. I told you I have questions that I sometimes like to ask people, so I'm going to just run through kind of 5 quick hitters, and if they turn into discussions, that's great. But I love asking, the first question is, when you, like after this interview, when you want to go listen to music, what platform would that generally be? How do you listen to your music?
I'll be honest, right now it's Spotify because there is a plethora of all types of music out there that I don't even know how to look for on other platforms because I didn't know that it existed. And Spotify gets your algorithm and it goes, here, you might like this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, that's cool. I like that. That's nice. But after that, I go find them on their platforms. I go look for them on their websites or their YouTube channel or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I go look for them so I can go, hey, I your friend. I your friend now. I listen all of it. Yes. Yeah.
That is a great thing because we all rightfully do not like Spotify for the low pittance that they pay musicians, but it doesn't mean that it's a worthless tool. It does. There is value in it. There is value in being on it, even if they don't pay you. But yeah, discovery is probably the biggest one.
Yes.
But I love that you discover and then go to a way that is more helpful to the musician.
Yes. Help their algorithm increase.
All right, so if you pop onto Spotify, do you have, other than finding new artists, do you have some go-to artists? This is the second question officially. Who are some of your go-to artists? Like, man, I want to hear a familiar song again.
I don't have familiar artists that I go and listen to. I have created a Texas women's playlist, probably, I don't know, 12 hours long now of artists. So I just let it run when I'm in the car sometimes. And then I have just a specific Austin, Texas playlist of whoever comes across my ears. I just add them to my playlist. So yes, no.
No, that's cool. The fact that you don't have go-to artists is kind of a go-to.
Yeah. Cause I'm that person. I was the manager for a rehearsal hall for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. So I heard all kind of music. And from that, I learned to listen to at least 25 seconds of everything that I hear. Just listen and go, oh, yeah, they can keep a beat. Let's go. Okay, let's go. That's got a good melody. Oh, like the harmony. Musicians. Okay, go. I like, doesn't matter. If I like it, I groove with it, I go. Doesn't matter what genre it is. I just like the vibe, the groove.
That's awesome. The oh, what was your rehearsal hall place somewhere in Austin by chance?
Dallas, Texas.
Okay, I'm less familiar up there. I was like, did you work at Music Lab?
Yeah. I didn't get that opportunity. No, no.
No. You've done many things. So my third question for you is, what is one of your musical career highlights? An opportunity or a gig or a recording something? What's something where you're like, man, that was a good day?
I specifically don't have that kind of thought process because every time I get to perform, it's like, yes, my turn. I'm on stage. That's how I feel about performing because I get to perform, period. Uh, okay.
No, that's
In the
that's
last 5 years, I've opened for the Gap Band at the the museum here in Austin. I went last 2 years ago, did the Navasota Blues Festival. I was one of the performing acts for that. And I perform at farmers market every other month because the farmers market people feed me and I love that. And I get to play my music just to an audience who would never ever hear me. I just love performing. Being on stage is where I'm supposed to be. Period.
That's awesome. No, one of the best paying gigs is one where you get fed, and
Yes.
if it's good food and fresh food,
Yeah.
that's
Like, thank you.
uh,
And they pay me. So I'm like, 3 for 1. Let's go.
that's
Yeah.
funny. There was one time the old metal bar in Austin, the Back Room. My band got to open for a kind of a one hit wonder band, but it was our biggest show ever. And so we got there early for load in. You know, with road shows, load in is much earlier and sound checks are much earlier and everything.
Hmm.
And there was a table with a whole spread of food for the headliners, not really for us. And I went over and it was like, oh, I don't mean to say anything bad about the venue. I love the venue and I love the staff, but it was just like a big tray of spaghetti
Oh,
and then a big bowl of salad and then some garlic bread. And I was both impressed and depressed at the same time. It's like, man, they got him food. You know, their driver can eat here. The whole band can eat. They don't have to go out and then pay for food. That is great. I was like, but man, how long has that spaghetti been sitting out here?
how sleepy are they going to be as soon as they eat that?
A big serving of pasta before you put on a rock and roll show.
Oh,
No, I love the idea of farmers market food though. There's not much bad food
oh,
there.
it's so cool. I love mushrooms now. I'm like, this mushroom tastes like chicken. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. What about, so that's kind of looking back on the past. What about looking ahead? Because I feel like you're a very unconventional artist. I don't think you have the same goals, like you kind of said earlier, like being famous and successful are two different things. But do you have a specific goal that you would, like, it'd be really awesome if you could do that one day, whether it's a venue or sharing a stage with a particular artist or something like that?
Mm, I don't know. I don't have one of those. Like I have not toured. I would love to tour successfully and financially and with clothing and shelter. I'd love to do that. I have a passport and everything. I'm ready. Got gear that's ready to go. I've not toured yet. I would love to be the opening act for some group that's looking for something like me and will take me along and let's go. I'd love to do that. I'd love to be endorsed by some instrument. That would be fabulous. I would love to play music. Period. Yeah. So no. I've seen myself get a Grammy award since I was 5 years old. So somewhere in there, I know that's going to happen. I'm in the Recording Academy currently. So yeah, I do the things. I'm doing the things.
I think it was that I told you that I didn't today in making my notes, I didn't do like a thorough revamp of your online presence, but I did a couple weeks ago when I first reached out to you and I saw that you were a member of the Recording Academy. Are you a voting member or have
Mhm.
you ever been?
I am.
So
I'm
you
a
get to
voting
vote
member.
on Grammys, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you vote on everything or do you just opt into the ones that you have knowledge about
I,
or
to the ones I have knowledge about. Because again, like there's so many musicians in this town. So once they find out that I'm a voting member, they're like, "Hey, hi, could you listen?" Like, sure, I'll listen. Absolutely.
that is cool. That got me to go to the Recording Academy's website and look at the form for how to become a voting member. It's like, that'd be something fun to do.
That's right. And then when they have the Recording Academy events, you can go to them
Wow.
and network. So
That's all right. That's on my to-do list. I need to get off my butt and fill that out.
fill it out, and you have to have 6 songs out, I think, in order to be part of it,
Mhm.
if I remember. And you have to have 3 people vote for you. So, Wiley, you got my vote already. Ting ting.
All right. All right. That's great. 30% of the way there. Um, that's cool. Yeah, to tour and or win a Grammy is cool. All right, and then my last question for you, the fifth question. Uh, when you perform, somebody comes to you for advice, like, "Hey, I've written some songs and I picked up guitar a few weeks ago and I can play and I can sing and write." What advice would you give somebody for how to get going? They have the energy and the time, but they don't know what to do. Like, where do you start?
If they already have music that they've created and written, that means they've spent the time working to perform it. So my best advice for them is to go to open mics, go to any and every, all types of open mics and perform.
Mm-hmm.
Take your own microphone if you're able, but go and play at open mics, because that is the best way to get your feet wet and to network with the venue and to network with other musicians that are out there, and to get comfortable and acclimated to performing on stage, because it's different than being in your room or performing for your family. It's just different. And go early. Go, if it says the open mic starts at 8, go get there by 6:30 to see if see if they have food, see if there's food in the area. But go to open mics. I performed at poetry open mics. I performed at, we're going to go to a country club open mic. I performed at rock and roll jazz band. Go to open mics, perform. Doesn't matter if you're their type of music or not. You'll be something refreshing for them. If you're not part of the regular circuit of people that they see, go, get in there, swim around.
That is really good advice. Yeah. Part of the reason I do this interview series is research for myself. I am mining everybody I talk to for motivation and inspiration, and that does make me want to, in the ways that I want to do, get up off my butt and just go. The one last tidbit that I want to put out there on video about you that I think is amazing. So we talked about preparedness and readiness and contracts and being ready to be at the venue and know what to expect. I think you might have the best, I'm going to go play a live show, I don't know what to call it, organization, your equipment. Can you talk about how you physically prepare to go play a show as far as your equipment goes? Because I don't know that I've seen anybody as put together as you are when you go to a show.
Don't like a mess. If I have to hunt for it, I get stressed. And I'm usually doing a gig, and it's probably me by myself. So I currently have a toolbox set up for all the just in case stuff and cables. So a toolbox like a Black and Decker, but that's not called Black and Decker. Forgot what it's called, but it's red and red. Okay, slow down. I put all of my just in case ready to go stuff in this toolbox, and it's a toolbox with a lower toolbox at the bottom, and then wheels. Everything's marked. Everything is wrapped up in a cable. Everything has its spots, including my little guitar stands. That's one rig. Then I have a Harbinger PA system, because if I need a bigger PA system than a Harbinger, then they need to provide one. Because I'm not carrying that. No. So that's another rig. Then I have I take 2 guitars generally with me, and now I don't take microphone stands, but I take them as a backup because I have a wireless headphone system. So I have 3 main components. Oh, and my pedal board. My pedal board is my band in a box. And sorry. I don't like a mess. I like organization so that I can find it quickly and go, not going, where's my, I don't know where it is. Put it back where it goes, organized. Like when people come up to me after a show and go, can I help you? I'm like, I appreciate it. Just stand there and look pretty. No. No. If they haven't worked with me, no. You don't know how I like my cables wrapped. You don't know where the stuff needs to go back into. No. Thank you, but no.
That's what.
Organized. I'm super anal about it. I don't like a mess.
Do you do you know the last time you were at a show and something came up that you didn't have?
Yes.
Was that recent or years
It
ago?
was recent. Um, Batteries for my wireless microphone.
Ooh,
I was like, huh. I don't yeah. You got some batteries? No. Oh, okay. Huh. How do I? Oh, okay. I don't know how. Let me figure this out. Hold on. But I did have a microphone because I always take a backup of everything, and some duct tape and my tripod for my camera, and tape the microphone to the tripod. I was like, well, alrighty, let's go. Ding. Use
wow.
what you got. You gotta be ready. So now I have a multi-port battery recharger system just for the rig. It's like, okay, yeah, never having that again.
That's
It
that's
was
awesome.
hilarious. It was me going like this. Ding 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 ding. Because the tripod could only go up so high.
This the same guitarist who shared the NFL metaphor to a band going to live music. Once told me I had a bass drum with a bum leg on it, and and I wasn't fixing it. I would just try to weather through it, and then one gig it just gave way, and so my bass drum was wobbly, and the poor bassist had to put his foot up there most of the gig and hold it in place, and we had a it was all my fault. It was my whatever. But the bit of wisdom that the guitarist had afterwards was there is so much that is unexpected when you play a show. A
Mhm.
million things can go wrong. And he said, your job is to control everything that you do have control over. And the leg on that bass drum is something you have control over that. So fix it. Don't show up without drumsticks. Always have drumsticks. And I mean, I've that was more than 10 years ago, and I've kind of taken that approach to many of the things in life. Like control everything you have control over. So when the one thing happens, you forget batteries, you had a way to deal with it another way because you were so prepared.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
oh, my pet
Hilarious.
peeve is when a guitarist shows up at a venue and is like, "Anybody got a pick?" It's like,
Oh,
get out of here.
it's when you pull out a quarter of your pocket, pull out a coin, and you play with the coin. I've done that.
Yeah,
Like, okay,
like you're gonna rub your fingernails to the nub tonight, buddy.
that's right. You will learn today.
Uh, Sonia, this has been wonderful. I want everybody to go to sonyajevette.com. That is with two T's and an E on the end. I'm excited to hear Giddy Up when it comes out and hear your uke skills.
Right on.
That's fun. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed having you on the show.
I appreciate you, Brother Wiley.
Thank
Much
you.
love to you. Thank you so much.
Likewise.